afternoon, almost. Um, I'll try to scream over my AC because it's kind of loud and I kind of need it. So it's not going off. Um, this message I've been sitting on for like a month because it's God keep bringing me back to this. It's something that I used to deal with years ago, and I think there was still some residue. And sometimes we get delivered from things, and there's still residue left over where you haven't. And God deliver you, and then you know, sometimes go pick it up again, and He corrects you because that's what He do. The spirit of pride. So when I Googled pride, the definition that I got was it is a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievement, the achievement of those with whom one is closely associated, or from qualities or possessions that are widely admired, or the things that you have, right? And some of the synonyms for pride is arrogance, conceit, or self-importance, just to name a few. So when I went to the Bible about spiritual pride, verses that talks about pride, a whole lot popped up. And so I just pulled out a few. A lot of the ones that I wrote down, but I won't read them all, were from the book of Proverbs. And our pastor teach us we are to, there's 31 Proverbs, 31 days in a month. And so every day we read a proverb because they're like words to live by. And because a lot of them talked about pride and how it is detestable to God, He warns us against pride. And so Philippians 2:3 reads, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself." Proverbs 8:13 reads, "To fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride and arrogance and evil behavior and perverse speech." Proverbs 16:5 reads, "The Lord detests all the proud of heart. Be sure of this, they will not go unpunished." And Proverbs 16:18 reads, "Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall." And that one I know to be true. There was a time in my life where I was very, very arrogant. And not because I had a lot. It was because I had the delusion that I had a lot. Because I didn't have much by any standard. But when you're operating out of delusion, you think you're a lot further ahead than you actually are. And because I was operating in pride, you know, I knew that God was warning me. But when you're in that kind of delusion, you don't think it's for you. Surely you're not talking to me, Lord. And He was. And I had got a promotion and yada yada yada, and you know, and God always try to help you, like humble yourself. The Bible tells you, humble yourself under the mighty hand of God. Humble yourself, because there is nothing that we can do outside of God. There's nothing we can do outside of the will of God. And so there's nothing that you receive that's not from God that is positive. And so the promotions and, new car and everything, that's all from God. But sometimes you really think that all your hard work did it. And even if you know that God did it, you, like me, can think that, oh, he did it for me because it's me. because he loved me so, and he do. But he loved all his kids. And there's a difference between having self-awareness with God and knowing that you are a child of God, and knowing that he blesses his children, but to also know that he didn't do it because you deserved it. Because what we deserve was death. But he took the death that we deserve. We deserve death for our sin, especially if you did it right. Some of us do sin just right. You deserve to die for it, but once you give your life to Christ, you don't have to anymore. Even Job said in Job chapter 1, and this is right when Satan had permission to test Job, and God told him to do everything but touch him. You can't touch him. You can't take his life. In Job 1 verse 21, it reads, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away." Just like the Lord gave it to you, he would simply take it away, and it'd be a night and day difference. You can be so high and mighty to yourself. You ain't got much more than anybody else, so you ain't got nothing nobody can get. But you can be so high and mighty one day, and in a week asking for money, in a week needing a ride to work. God can change your life if you don't humble yourself. You don't want God to humble you, because the same people that you were prideful with in front of, the same people who thought that you was doing so well, they will see your fall. And people like that entertainment, and they should. They're entertained by you. It's all a show, right? When you're doing it for the wrong reasons, it's a show. You are prideful in front of everybody, but you want God to, humble me when I get home in my room. No, sir. Just like you were prideful, you were walking around prideful, God will do it openly, because he's a God of correction. And he don't do it to hurt you. He do it because he's God. And he will have no other God before him, not even you. There's nothing you can do outside of the will of God. It's nothing that he create. He's the creator of all things, good and evil. Just like he created the angels that are good, the angels that are not good, they're created for a purpose as well. And he'll allow attacks to build character, and they will build your character. You cannot build your faith if your faith is never tested. You cannot become closer to God until God prunes and take out every bad thing in you that is not of him. And it's an everyday struggle. And if somebody is operating out of delusion and think that I'm finally there to where I'm not tested anymore forever, you're operating out of delusion. This is a life. You have a lifetime of trials and tests. Jesus said that. The test will come. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord will deliver us from them all. He wants us to lean on him for every area of our life, not as young Christians, in every area of our life, throughout our life. Trust God. Humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, and he will exalt you. He will make you great. And I like the illusion of great that you think you are, like I did, but he will actually make you great in him. Because to be great in the world, what would you gain? What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his soul? That's Bible. God detests the proud. And he said they will not go unpunished. Proverbs 16:5. Humble yourself.